He says you got to start seeing things from heaven's perspective and not try to fit in with the culture that you've been called into the kingdom out of. But the truth of the matter is, we got to be willing to admit that there are some things in the culture that are so comfortable to us that we don't want to sacrifice those things so that we might have a closer walk, as the song would say, with Jesus. And so Paul understood that many of us have never experienced the threat of losing our lives because of our service to Jesus Christ. As a matter of fact, the situation is so opposite for us of what Paul had to experience. We live in a nation that declares itself to be a Christian nation. Now, while it declares itself to be a Christian nation, it practices every immoral behavior that is anti-biblical. But if we said enough, folk not looking closely will believe it and ignore all of the immorality going on. Well, the church has believed, or as my wife would like to say, the church has drank the Kool-Aid. We actually think we're in a Christian nation, and so we don't take seriously our need to witness for Christ and stand up against all of the immorality that has invaded even the church. You say, well, preacher, how is it that Paul understands something that we don't? Well, when Paul was giving his defense, some of the brethren got so upset with him that if you look at Acts chapter 23 and look just for a moment at verses 12 through 15, it says that after Paul had given his defense and dealt with why he does what he does now as a child of God, as opposed to when he was practicing his Phariseeism. It says, the next morning a group of Jews, remember Paul, Jew, a group of Jews got together and bound themselves with an oath not to eat or drink until they had killed Paul. There were more than 40 of them in the conspiracy. They went to the leading, look at what they did. They went to the leading priests and elders and told them, we have bound ourselves with an oath to eat nothing until we have killed Paul. Then they tried to get them in it. So here's what we need you to do. You and the high council should ask the commander to bring Paul back to the council again. Pretend you want to examine his case more fully. We will kill him on the way. Because Paul was no longer supporting the Jewish cause, but was standing on the commission from heaven for the cause of Christ, in the culture in which he had played a leading role in. The Jews got so mad with him, they said, we're going to kill him. Yeah. See, brothers and sisters, God's not going to play second fiddle to anybody's whiteness or our blackness. Did you hear what I said? He's not going to take a back seat to what we look like externally as we worship what we look like as a little g God. And we've got to understand that in the culture that we have been called out of to be called into the kingdom, that culture is steeped in valuing people based on what they look like. But in the kingdom, what you look like does not matter. In the kingdom, we are all required to surrender lordship of our lives to the King of the kingdom. And the last time I checked, his name is Jesus.